I haven't finished writing it, but Operation Dark Current was successful but useless, essentially.
Okay.
Basically, we spent about 2.5 hours in the sewers. It was uh 2 marshals, 2 LSPD, and 3 medics. We did a deep dive into the sewers last night this morning. And there was new power equipment. There's
Hmm?
pictures of that. Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Sure
Like
that's new?
it looked. Well, I mean, it looks like brand new. I don't know if Cortez got the images in there yet. I haven't reviewed it. Um,
Yeah, I
I
see photos in there.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if he actually Operation Dark Current. These may not be. They may not be new. I've never been in the sewers before. So we took someone. So Remy on your side had been in the sewers in the last 2 months with PD doing a deep dive, and there are floodlights at every corner. She said she didn't remember any of that. There are certain areas marked with shoes, specifically concerning what looks like to be a pathway to the medical room. The medical room itself has a bunch of wires connected to power, but uh, apparently some portions of that were new. And if you look at for like DC 1819, a lot of the specific power portions, those are like brand new installations. Um, Let me see if I can find something else. We also had. I mean, it may not be new. I don't know. A lot of the dive and categorization of the sewers is poor at best. So if you don't think it's new, then it was a waste of time. Well, it wasn't a waste of time. We verified that it wasn't being used, but
Sure.
it just seems like a lot of unique power situation for putting inside of a fucking sewer system. What are your opinions?
I'm confident that they've always been there.
Okay, well then at least we can rule it out as a tool not utilized by the archivist.
Yeah.
So
At present, at least. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
at present.
You should definitely
this
go
morning.
back and do like because I cycle through all the transformers
Mhm.
top side on a regular basis. We should probably do the same in the sewers, to be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of what we were doing. But we ended up having one of the local law enforcement vomiting and heaving, and it was just they did their best, and that was great. But what we need to do is basically make an updated map and hit what
Yeah.
we need to. We need to go like A, skip all this to point B. We also came across I'm sure you're aware, radioactive material, and so that required us to go all the way back around, and so that probably pushed us about 40 minutes later. So
Wait, radioactive material in there?
oh yeah,
That's new.
no, yeah, there's
No, it's not.
It's not okay.
No.
yeah, it was radioactive enough
It's been
where
like that
Lieutenant
for a minute.
Waters, who's a member of the Ship 2 field team,
I'm waiting for the juicy stuff.
her and I went up to test it with her Geiger counter, and she said this is too much of a risk for even running through, and I said okay. So I wasn't gonna risk lives to run
Yeah.
through to make a cut. Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Radiation is scary, man.
Well, we don't know what would have happened, right? It could have done any sort of number of things, and I told her, I'm like, if you do not want to step up, please just tell me now. I'm not gonna have your life risked. I will just take the Geiger counter. You tell me a number that's gonna be banned. But she said no. She wanted to go up, so I said okay. So I stepped up first, and she stepped behind me, and well, I guess I'll know if I die when I'm 50 or not. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean it can be anywhere from like a few weeks to a few decades. Depends on your dosage.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't super bad apparently, but too much to risk it.
Sure.
I don't know. I have to actually get the number from her. But okay. Well, at present, it's good to know that the sewers. It's fucking wild down there, man. There's fucking tons of beds and a giant fan and a throne, and it's just It's insane.
Yeah, there's shitloads of stuff down there.
I've never been down there. It just blew my fucking mind. Like, the first part was fine, and then there's like, oh yeah, there's gonna be radioactive material up here. I'm like, Remy, what the fuck are you talking about? And then I look, and there's glowing fucking barrels of radioactive material high enough to fucking kill us.
I want the tea.
Right. Okay. It could be nuclear waste. Probably is nuclear waste.
Sure, but
Yeah.
that's
Yo, kettle
Yeah,
is hot.
probably
Chop chop.
Throw it away somewhere.
Yo, chat. What the fuck?
yeah.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo, chat.
I don't know why anyone hasn't brought that up. That's deadly. What if it's getting in our water?
Hold on. One second. Wait.
It is in the water.
Wait.
It's literally in the sewers.
Yeah, but like actually in the water, just because it's in the sewers doesn't mean that like water comes through and.
What is
doesn't matter. I
it?
don't- it doesn't matter. Okay, so what is this update on Operation Hornets Nest?
Yes, right. So, well, no, it's not about Hornets Nest. So
Tea kettle.
Okay, so what's the
Can we
update?
sit? Let's sit. Everyone have a seat. Come on.
well,
Uh,
okay. So
Yes, sir.
we do need to talk about that. I showed up to the court case yesterday, right? The ACR.
Uh-oh.
Sure, right.
Right. And I noticed when Craig did this,
Before you
he was
say
like
anything, before you
brave.
say anything else,
brave, yeah.
what we're about to discuss has been discussed between me,
N-
Director.
Oh,
Knight.
Wait,
motherfucker.
hold on. Are you? Wait. Take a look at your tech sparks. Is that
Oh, sure.
is he about to tell us about like the faceless guy in the back? That's what it's thing we talked about yesterday.
Oh, I was
weird,
not bringing
like-
up faceless.
Oh, wait, what were you gonna say?
Okay,
I-
never mind. I don't understand then. Please.
Okay, so Craig starts clapping, right? He's like brave, and I noticed
Yeah.
he has these like white gloves on, and
Right.
in the moment I was like, okay, I've never known him to wear anything like that, and I was just kind of like just brushed it off as like, oh, that's just a bit strange. And then as I was thinking, is he having like a midlife crisis or something?
that
Because
sounds like Craig.
because he's been like off the fucking rails recently, right? Like he's
Yeah,
going on
the
some, like-
fact that he put a fucking ACR up over this, like fucking crazy. I
Well,
think it
I
was
mean-
just meant for funsies, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
His ACR was not taken into my consideration, but like he's been like saying some wild vigilante
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Hi, Kingsman.
Oh, so does anyone need anything to drink or eat?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I got him. Yep. All right.
Probably later when we discuss Hornets
Yeah.
Nest. Anyway, you're seeing this guy having a
Yeah,
midlife
so
crisis?
he's going through like I thought he was having like a midlife crisis. Like, what is this fucking wardrobe? And then I was going back through because you asked me to go through the opportunity and reevaluate, and I was looking at the photos, and boy, does it look like the same outfit that one of those guys are wearing. Am I crazy?
Okay.
Mm,
So, wait, are you saying Craig might be Archivist?
Might be, yeah.
Okay.
What,
All right,
what,
right.
Barrett?
I mean, he's really eccentric. I've known Craig for many years.
Yeah.
And he does random shit to do random shit.
Yeah.
Like what led you to there? I'm just
Are
curious.
you trolling right now, Wrecker?
No,
Okay, sorry.
no, he's wearing the same clothes as in that picture, right? And he's been on a fucking wild one recently.
So, because he's been on a wild one and he had gloves on, you think he was one of the guys?
It's not just the gloves. The gloves, the hat, the shoes. Am I overcooking?
Wait, this is what you wanted to tell me this morning?
No. Well, part of it.
Oh,
What report is it, Riker? Let me have a little look.
yeah. Okay, you don't deserve this, Riker. Yeah, we actually agree.
Yeah, no, it was the first thing that I noticed. I took pictures. Oh, so when the picture got placed on the board, I took that.
Yeah.
Took the
Oh, you guys are way
opportunity-
ahead of me then.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
So when the picture was placed on the board, I already noticed the gloves, and I've known Craig for a really long time. So I immediately took the opportunity to quote unquote zoom in on the picture on the board, but I took pictures of Craig. When he put on the bowler hat, that man has never worn an entire suit and tie in his entire life going to
Right.
court. He was wearing those exact same shoes, and it's the rings. And so in the original picture that was taken by
Oh, I didn't notice
Blunt,
the rings.
yeah, so it's the rings in the left hand. I haven't posted,
Yeah.
I haven't put up the
Yeah, I
picture yet
couldn't-
because we are keeping the
Chat, that's how you
secret.
actually troll.
And
Because
I'm not
when
gonna
it's
send you the
serious,
picture.
you gotta at least
I'm
let the other part. It
Just
was
gonna save it
fun
on
for
my
a little
phone
bit, and then
share it or give you my
Yeah,
phone.
I don't need to see it. If you like, I'll just
No.
I'll just take your word
I
for it.
want you
Okay.
to see it so
Sure,
you
okay.
understand.
Yeah.
All right, so I believe that if I hand you my phone, you can see my gallery. Don't log into your account.
Okay.
So, here. Kingsman, can you jump? There's a spider in your boot, my dude. Thank you. Is it your
this
gallery?
work?
Did you log in, or can you see my gallery?
Stand by. Am I blind? Where the fuck is gallery? Oh, there it
It's
is.
the little picture I commented.
No, I can't see it.
Go to my text messages, then with Blunt, and then look at those text messages.
Okay,
There
I
should be
got
image
a-
in there.
I got a T whistle. Now.
You should be able to see
Yeah.
it with Craig.
The one taken from the back of him.
Yeah, if you look at his left hand, you'll see. A
I'm
black
sorry.
ring
Oh,
Some of
with
y'all
right.
probably have
And then
dogs,
if you look
don't
at the
you?
image that Blunt took the day of, it's the same exact ring. So it's the same exact gloves, rings, shoes, hat.
Sorry.
The only people who have access to Pi, so there's 10 people who have access to Pi, which include you. And then there's no one else that has that image as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, but your
Which
cat
means
is wild.
the
Yeah.
archivist knew that we took the image,
And then the
and so
back
they're
are-
wearing it as a way to taunt us. But it's also actually here. Go back through and read like as much of my text messages with Craig Barrett as you want. Just mainly yesterday. His ideology concerning the government hiding things, the fact that he was a former director and he felt as though nothing. There's ringing in my left ear. Ow, 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 ow. Like actual ringing in my left ear. Ow, tinnitus. Fuck, that hurt. So his ideology is just like the destabilization of government, so it's good for the people. He's always protected Polito. It's a 1,000 different things, right? He started texting me after the court case. Speaking of which, I'm gonna grab the burner. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna grab the burner. It's in capital S serif locker, by the way.
Oh yeah, he's been texting today
To whom?
to the burner.
Has he?
Yeah, he doesn't like the fact that we're using pseudonyms and different and burner phones and stuff.
He uses fucking pseudonyms.
Yeah.
They use pseudonyms.
Because he's not in control.
Yeah, so he's fucking on one, right? Like he's lost it. He's lost the plot.
It's going to be a thing
And also the time
of the
frame
past,
of him
and I'm
like
so proud of
shifting
you.
And fellas, some great
and
things
basically
happening,
just
right?
becoming a
Morning,
massive
it's
douche
great, really great things happening. I
lines
hear
up with Cassius
And some
Vane
pretty
showing
big
up. Am I
announcements over
wrong?
A short
With,
period of time.
I
Moving
I
drugs
do
over the
agree
counter, so you don't need a
that it is
prescription.
specific
Yeah, right.
timing that Barrett
Sorry, I was
suddenly
watching,
starts wearing and acting in that particular capacity, and then very suddenly
Video.
Cassius Vane also shows up. Yes, I do
Now,
believe that. I
I don't
believe
necessarily
that Craig
think
Barrett,
that. Yeah, I don't think he's been inducted like in the past fortnight. I have a feeling it's been longer than that, but
Oh no, 100% for him to have access. But also, did you read? I don't know if the twats are up because I haven't had time to put it up. But there were when Caliber went around and started fucking with the bank, and when I collected the information from the bank, then that's when Caliber responded being like, do you know how hard it is to sync 10 locations at the exact same time when blah blah blah, which sounds exactly like what Barrett would say.
yeah. Okay, so there was a development today as well. Go back to
May I pause this real quick? Because
Sure.
two foundational questions. One is, can we get a active tap of your SIM card so that it is
Yeah, absolutely.
on the
100%.
subpoena tool? That makes it easier than like passing around a, going to the locker and this and that. It makes it very easy for everyone to kind of reference it. The second is, do we have an active tap on the archivist yet?
No, we haven't figured out the good enough probable cause for the subpoena. Riker and I already talked about it. We have plenty enough RS, but as far as that number is concerned, none of the text messages that have been sent have been direct enough that I think it breaches for a tap for the subpoena.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. So does he not in the text messages to you? Why don't he believes? Okay, well, let me give you another
Sorry,
option.
quick interjection.
Yeah.
That lamp, does it ever flicker? The lamp right next to Kingsman?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
In
think
the
I've been
gallery
around for a
flickers.
flicker.
It was just
Mhm.
flickering. Like, I just keep an eye on that. Carry on.
So two things. I could give the more complicated answer, or I just say he believes in freedom, so send him a consent form on the text.
True. I hadn't considered that angle.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, you believe in freedom.
Yeah.
Can we have a tap on this phone so we can all participate together and collaborate? And he might just be like, okay.
Yeah. The deliberation
Am I wrong?
today.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, you're right. The development today is that he has underlined the fact that he's open to collaboration. Like he wants us to collaborate.
Yeah, I mean, he's said that from the even his. Let's call him. Can we call it Archivist V1 and V2? Just to
Yeah, we can do
Okay.
V1, V2, V3 once we figure out this third person, assuming that there is even a third person.
Well, when I say V1, I mean V1 meaning before the shutdown, right? Before the
I don't even consider anything before the shot to be real at this point. I think that was simply a game, and then they found a reason to press forward. To me, that nothing beforehand matters. I don't think any of the keys matter. I don't think any of the discussion
They
matters
do.
or anything like that. I don't think they do.
Part of the development today is that he told me that they will matter in the future.
Okay. When did you speak to him?
But wait, let's one thing is regardless of what individually one may think, we don't want to shut any doors.
No,
So,
I'm aware of that.
yeah. Sorry, Riker. Sparks, continue.
It's fine.
Right. So, to answer your question, Sparks, I saw on the burner that he didn't like the fact that we were using a burner, basically. So I asked him a couple of questions from my own number that are not about their actions or investigation per se, but more about their background, sort of personal questions about them.
Yeah.
And he did volunteer a bit of information. I'm going to do a subpoena on myself and get those text messages attached. However, you should go to the LSPD and BCSO Projectors Hacked Part 2.
I'm trying to read these text messages. Okay, sure.
Which messages, sorry?
I've been trying to read. It's fine. What's the report?
40721.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to review any of this because it's been nonstop fucking court drama. I'm turning my bar license in, I think, in the next like 48 hours. I haven't been. Oh, I did see these. Yeah. I want to try to get these enhanced, I think. but
Wait, is there more?
Okay.
Look at the first image. BCSO Projector Code 4.
We're almost across the finish line.
Oh my. Yeah.
There is a lot of information on there,
I don't blame her for feeling
including
that
a
way.
username
to be
and
honest.
password.
Poor Sparks, man. The victim and
Yeah,
then
that's why I want
blamed.
to hack into Caliber and then remove their admin access from Caliber.
But she needs
and have
to
control over
also
it.
learn to separate. And that's
logged
something
in
that
Friday.
we need to teach her.
So this was done
Right?
Friday.
Like, it sucks, but that's the job of the marshals, unfortunately, is that we are going to get sucked into other things and we will always be a
It
target.
specifies
Because
that
you
there
know,
are 8 computers
we make the
and
city
1 server that they
turn
attempted
in many
to
ways.
connect to, which will be local somewhere around here.
When you say attempt, what makes you say attempt?
Well, they're pinging those IPs.
So they did get into them or through them.
Well, I mean, like, I'm not that great with computers, but I have elementary knowledge. It looks like those first 9 IPs, that looks like it's an attempt at connection. Whether it's successful or not.
You're referencing today, right?
No, the image that has been most recently added to the BCSO and LSPD projectors hacked report.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There is a long list of computer jargon. IP addresses, URLs, etc. And at the very top, they've got 9 IP addresses, 8 computers and 1 server. And there, it looks like they're pinging them or attempting to connect to them.
Question. Do you reckon they're going for each computer to kind of port forward to get to the ultimate goal, which will be a server?
Well,
That's
so
how it works.
one of them they connected to. They found no vulnerabilities. And then another one says vulnerable service detected at target port SSH v1.0.1. And then they initiated their breach protocol. And they got through and they got logging credentials to something.
Gotcha. Right, yeah.
Are y'all?
And it's SSH admin.
I'm trying to
Whatever
sort of
SSH is.
catch up here. So on the
Type of server
timeline
code.
document, right? And I'm presuming this timeline document is this the most accurate in terms of like, is this mostly up to date? I presume.
Up to the 18th, I think. Again, the last, like we have discussed, Director, unfortunately, this last week has been miserable for catching up for an umpteenth amount of reasons.
Absolutely. But is it in the timeline? I'm trying to pull up the reference you guys are talking about. The only one I see here is
So,
the.
It's currently not in the timeline.
Oh,
because
gotcha.
it happened. This happened yesterday. So
Understood.
This is very new
Okay.
information. Yesterday,
What's the
the
report number
projectors
so I can
40721. The projectors at both HQs were hacked.
Oh, I see. Okay, projectors hack part 2. Okay, I was looking at the previous one.
And those images were placed on the projectors, but they were not clear, difficult to read, until today, when I was provided with a very clear image of everything that was put on the
It's
projectors.
because you're allowing them to have control. The entire point of those text messages that you just sent is they didn't like that there was not control. So I responded. I responded stating the same. I'm like, you guys hide behind a screen. You guys hide behind a username. So I'm going to be doing the same. I said specifically, this phone is to communicate with everyone on the team, and so that no information is hidden. And if you continue to presume, and if you continue to act in that sort of accordance, then we will continue to do the same.
That's fair.
So they can behave like adults and give me their names and other information, so they don't hide behind a fucking username like a petulant little child. Or they can understand that we're going to be playing the same. So I mean, you can read it read it there anyway. My
Yeah.
concern with putting the subpoena for this phone into the subpoena tool is that people who don't need to have access to this will have access to that information.
Oh no, we
No,
can
they
we
won't.
can lock that away.
No,
easily.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
Teams on it.
Yep.
So
I may not know what subpoena tool we're talking about then.
Bean's dad made a unique one. So
Yeah.
you may be thinking of the older one.
No,
from-
no. But the only one that I think is Sparks. You have the one that's like NP subpoena tool, right?
No. Hold on. NP subpoenas.
NP
Bear
subpoena
with
dot
me.
austindev.io.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
loading
yeah.
in now.
Yeah.
that one we can lock stuff
Yeah.
off, no problem.
So this
Okay.
subpoena tool is developed in house. It inherently has Teams on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is locked to SASM, and furthermore, the
Okay.
teams that can be created on there.
This is for case.
So we're at the point now that there should be what? Sorry, say again.
Is this for the case board, I guess?
There is a case board on there, but you don't have
Yeah.
to use it.
I don't see any location. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. I don't.
What IP address are you on right now?
NP subpoena to austindev.io/dashboard/
Yeah.
organizations, and then encrypted information for SASM.
So click do you see the banner at the top? It says new.
No. Oh yes, new version.
Okay.
Okay.
Go to that. We'll get you set up separate, but to
Okay.
assure you, once you get set up, that is every single subpoena that SASM garners, regardless of the case, goes onto here. You can create
Okay.
incidents, but you can also create larger investigations, such that an investigation has many incidents of which can have many subpoenas.
Sure.
And those investigations are locked to SASM and the members that are explicitly invited. Separate from this, when it comes to the investigations, like for example, we have a Darkstone and a Faceless. We can add folks like Riker to the investigation, such that prying eyes cannot see it. It's got security built into it, right?
Confirm.
Both for classified, investigations as well as within interdepartmentally, but then also individual invites. So,
Understood, sir.
all right.
Okay. I'm in the new tool. Where do I go from?
We'll get you set up afterwards. I wouldn't worry about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Probably
we
going to take
can,
like 10, 15 minutes, so we could just do that afterwards.
Yeah,
Understood.
we can easily upload subpoenas there and index them in a way that only certain people can access them, and they're very easily
Mhm.
you can sort through them very, very easily.
Understood. As long as it's secure, that's fine, and then we can continue keeping that phone in the Faraday cage.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then that's easy enough so that we can just constantly just remove and update, remove and update, remove and update.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that I refuse to let them have that control over the narrative. All of us should be able to access that, and if they continue to do that, and then we can just. I don't give a shit if people know my text messages.
So what you're saying, what it sounds like you're saying is, because this does make sense. What you're saying is, as of right now, he is communicating to individuals, thus allowing himself to control a narrative. You have let him know that we are collectively using a singular phone for communication with him effectively as a department, as a team.
That's exactly what I said. I said you misunderstand and you presume. I guess we could just give the phone so you can see exactly the text messages. But I mean, you can see it for yourself. I specifically stated that this is a presumption that goes against your general ideals. Like, this is specifically for the team. It is accessible by the team. And I continue to use a username. Rooker has a username. Riker has a username. We utilize those usernames because they continue to utilize Lucian and Cassian as usernames.
Oh, so you're Seraph. Who is Rooker?
Rooker is Crucible, and Riker is Habana. Neither of them have responded to the Archivist in the burner. Those are the assigned code names. And that is in the primary document. They're aware of that. In the history of that burner, they are aware. They knew who I was.
What's mine going to be?
What do you want it to be?
Batman.
No. It has to be a legally distinct superhero, sir.
I spell it with 2 N's.
I'm gonna never mind.
Botman.
Honestly, director, and I mean this, I don't I don't see you as someone who would utilize like a code name in this capacity. But I mean, Knight is you are a war hero, sir.
That is
you
true.
are very well known.
Wait, what if I use dasMEHDI chat?
Your username should be I strapped a bomb to that page.
Yo. Okay.
Bomb going guy, to 69420.
I'm going to go ahead and text on this so that is a little bit more clear. And there we go. All right.
Absolutely. That's why I don't hold it personally. That's why it's in a burner. That was the whole point of the burner. like to get it and have access to it so everyone had access to it.
Okay, so as someone who doesn't really have much experience or knowledge when it comes to sort of system language like that.
Do you want me to translate?
Sure. I can kind of pick apart some stuff there, get the general idea of what they're doing, but
sure.
I feel like there's a terminal somewhere that we can access and log in and just get a boatload of information.
I have to pull it up.
I went back to the FIB offices earlier today. Counted the number of offices that's in there. There's 9 offices.
That's a coincidence, isn't it?
No, it's not a coincidence, but we have to presume that everything is noise. And it says corporate office off online, which would mean that that is like, I mean, we know they're working with the faceless, so it just ends up being that way.
Corporate office could also be the banking system, which we know that they're
activating. Yeah, are there any social media posts with them today at all?
Yes. So there were so my latest report is the 2 power outages and 2
got ruined. Oh my god. Faceless.
By, an apology for the disruption post.
Okay. Yeah, I need that stupid little time thing that shows up in Dragon Ball Z where I can just do all of my reports and it's only an hour.
That would be cheating.
Welcome to SASM, unfortunately.
I'm aware, sir.
No just get Chad to do your reports for you.
Test caliber sync fail offset. Yeah, so what they're doing is using that Python script, something to do with this is P8B, whatever that is. They're trying to sync it with they're just failing.
Wait,
and their latency is increasing, by the way. It's gone from 12 to the 20s to the 30s, now it's 40. And so their latency is increasing.
It's not increasing, it's fluctuating.
Oh, I see 21. Okay. Yeah.
They've done 21, 27. Like a couple of days ago, it was 27. So I think they're testing different parameters and getting a different amount each time. And the first power outage, which was the 21 millisecond, it was a very brief power outage. And then when the millisecond response time was in the 40s,
I can't read all this in this format.
Power outage that lasted about several seconds. So the length of time that the power is out
There
is
you go.
corresponding with
I gave you the phone there,
those
by the way.
posts.
Me?
Yeah. I asked him I just told him directly, do you have a problem with this? And we'll let him explain himself.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think I think you should text him from Habana. I think that would be really, really funny. And then just put Crucible and like respond as Crucible for Rooker because she won't give a shit. And just be like, motherfucker, what do you think? Like, we've all been reading this. I've just been talking to you because I'm the
I think
primary
clearing
person.
that presumption is probably a good thing, because it goes back to why I mentioned, if he wants transparency, then do you mind us, he may come back and say, like, hey, do you mind us having a live wiretap on this?
Yeah. Okay, so the IP address that's listed on the SASM website is 104.16.93.174, and none of those are listed in this creation that you have, or the image that you have for the hacking.
That's a local network.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so there's 8 computers in one server. Archivist local scan 192.168.118. 10.0.0.192.
I'm not going to pretend I know what I'm looking at, but I kind of get an idea. Okay, but can you clear something up for me? I'm looking at in plain view. What does the tree refer to? There's
Stand
two of
by.
them on there.
Stand by.
Stand
So
by.
stand by. So this is not the first time they've had port 22. So a port is basically when it's like a branch of a river. So when you have a network, which is like a river of, so I'm looking at for where on this image it says vulnerable service detected at target point SSH. That's just a server. That's the software on the server. Don't worry about it. It's just meaning that they're trying to find a vulnerability on the server.
Sure.
So above that, where it says port service, all those are where it says service are different languages. Like up there where it says port 80 service HTTP, the language that computers get that translates all the code into websites is the hypertext transfer protocol. That's the type of translation from what they're doing that we see.
Yeah.
And so the port is like a branch of a river. The river will go into different areas, and so that goes into port 80 for that river, 1658 for that river. Port 22 on this IP address has been used numerous times. So this just needs to go into the lexicon, I think. What is it that you were looking at, Kingsman?
I've still got Minority on my mind, and I'm looking at it in plain view. I'm thinking, boy, this has come up on the same day. It's got tree in it. Look, right at the moment, as I said, I'm looking at this, and I kind of get it.
Where are you seeing tree?
Right at the bottom, after the when it's looking through the bins and the logs.
Yeah.
It says root.
I have a feeling.
This is tree.
So this is something.
So I tried just logging into the old Junior Huntley website, and as I go to log as I go to like log out, it says entry point not configured in this bundle if you met the silence protocol, and I can't access the silence protocol. So I'm not sure what that's about. That's unfortunate.
All I'm saying, I'm gonna be honest. All I'm saying is like,
wait, hold on. Can I just ask? Sorry, can I ask something just real quick? Sorry, Kingsman. Please do repeat yourself right after this. I just had a moment here. What is this username and password in this picture?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So I originally,
understood.
Yeah, that's what the archivist. I think that's what the archivists were trying to get and successfully did get. Out of whatever system they accessed with their exploit, they got a username and password.
Okay.
But
and apologies for these. I'm way the fuck behind. So
you're fine.
Kingsman, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, that's fine. It's just that I'm I'm kind of understand. So again, if they're trying to get through all these different computers to get to the servers to get to the login, do you guys have an idea what intel data they're after on a server?
They're in the FIB building. So yeah, so the whole mantra of the Archivist is free information for everyone all the time forever.
Sure.
Is essentially what it is. So whatever that data is, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. It's stuff that they shouldn't have access to. It's classified information for the protection of so let's break that down, right? Why do we classify information?
Because we don't want people to know what we got.
Why do we not want people to know what we got?
Because it's private and we don't want people to know our business.
No. Why do we classify information? Why do we classify the names of terrorists? Why do we classify specific information concerning weapons that have been developed for the idea to escalate to de-escalate? That's what war is, right? Is the same thing for law enforcement. We escalate with lethal force to de-escalate situations in the time of peace.
Sure.
Why do we classify information?
So it can't be used against us, right?
And to protect other people.
Yeah.
Yes. The reason why we classify information is one, so that the government operations aren't held in public, so that our information isn't utilized to destabilize our society for the good of the people, because there are bad actors within the entire world. Two, there's information that the public as a whole, it has been determined. If we go back to like the Roswell incidents and stuff like that from the 50s and World War II and stuff like that, there's some information that should be known. And I'm not going to go into specifics of like the tragedies of world wars, but some information that should be known and some information that shouldn't, because of health of society, to prevent widespread panic, destabilization, and things like that. Because at the end of the day, yes, people know, and arguably they should know about pretty much every subject, in my opinion. But how does that benefit society to move on? How does that benefit a family of 6 to make sure their kids get to kindergarten, or someone have a wedding, or someone getting a promotion, or you know what I mean? Like, it is unnecessary for the good of society for them to have that information until they are ready to do so. That is why we classify information, the protection of good people. And so the archivists don't see it that way, because there are bad actors that have existed in government and will continue to.
This is very
classify information with.
This is very well put together, chat.
So they are hacking into a system to get access to all the information because they believe that they are the proper curators of that information.
So they want to. Sorry, carry on.
No, you're fine. Go ask the question.
I was going to say, so they want to extract it. They want to give it out.
Yes, that's what they've done. That is what they have done before. That is what they will continue to do.
And what medium do you reckon they'll do it? Through social media?
I know what all this is. This image is quite literally just showing they have a tool that can break into a computer system. This particular computer has 0 relevancy. The reason let me just walk through this, and some of this you may have already.
Absolutely.
If we can, feel free to pull up the photo. Just kind of follow along.
Okay.
Yep.
So
so now stand by.
Yep.
So most of this photo is truncated.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering where this background comes from, if you don't know this, I worked for the Secret Service for a few years for President Davis. Hence why I was taken aback by the particular conversation I had a couple days ago. But anyways, so first off, this picture is truncated, right? So we don't really know what happened prior to this. We just know that he had access to, as you mentioned earlier, Sparks, some network, right? Some local network. So in other words, these computers that are 10 dot whatever are just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever 9 or whatever number that is.
8 computers connected to the server, which is the home address, which is that 1.18.
Yes, correct. So that's the local network. The 10. Well, actually, not necessarily. So 10 dot is a subnet.
Right.
192.168.1.18 is another internal network, right?
Yes.
So that one internal network, that server, has many nodes. Those nodes could be computers, they could be laptops, they could be whatever, but likely they are computers because you normally would configure 10 dot specifically.
Yes, sir.
But there could be also 192.168.1.17, 16, 15, etc., but kind of irrelevant, right? So, anyways, so you then get to the next thing, which is the 179.104.18.91. That is a Brazilian server. So it's not even in San Andreas, likely. And then what it's doing is it at some point had been okay. So then it does a scan. It's looking for networks. 80 is for HTTP. 1658 is SMB. That's just email. 5831 is RDB. That's remote. RDP is just like a file transfer protocol. And so that's just that service. There is a attempt to obviously try to crack. It runs a program, crack, that's just a Linux command. But, well, no, it's not a Linux command, technically. It's probably a custom binary. In other words, that's a program that...
Caliber's a custom Python script. That much we know. So they've been utilizing this Caliber 206 to do whatever they're doing instead of manually doing it now.
I mean, it could be. So I'm not discrediting that point, but I'm saying crack in this context. Crack is a binary. Think of it as an executable. On Windows, you got .exe.
Okay.
On Linux doesn't have the concept of like the shortcuts. I don't want to get too into the weeds, but crack could be a script. Crack could be a binary. Crack could be like an executable. But in this case, we know it's an executable because, and it's a custom executable because crack is not a standard Linux binary. So you wouldn't, if you installed Linux, you wouldn't have crack magically on there. Like there could be a million different cracks that you could probably Google on the internet, but whatever one he's got, it clearly shows some output. And it says it can't find an exploit on the SMB port. It can't find an exploit on RDP. So it's probably not just after they did the scan, it's trying to see if there's any exploits on the... So I want you to just to kind of further expand on what a port is, just so we're all kind of on the same page. A port is just a way for a computer to have access to everyone on the internet, right? So when you, for example, this SMB port, if you're doing like email, it needs a way. This is the port is going to be used for sending the email and bringing the email in. But
I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah. But whatever service, SMB service it is, and there could be dozens, right? Like, for example, Microsoft probably has an SMB service. There might be another one for something else and blah, 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 right? That particular application would need to have an exploit in it, right? Like you can't just because the packet, a packet being like an envelope of information going through the internet. Once it hits this computer, there's going to be some verification and integrity checks on whatever application is attached to this port. In this particular case, there was no known exploit found by this crack application on SMB and RDP. And so then he did another scan, right? And on a different computer. So that was on 192, right? He did it on 52. And he looked for ports there. He found two open ports. One is an exposed SQL database, which means, there could be like a MySQL or whatever fucking SQL service, once again, dozens of apps running on 6562. And then the SSH, which is a secure shell host, or I don't remember what exactly it's called, but SSH is the same. You see this entire service that is in this picture? This is probably an SSH terminal.
Right, correct.
But these two ports exist. So he then runs it on SSH. SSH can only send commands. It cannot terminal commands, right? So he runs this same app on this second PC on port 22, and it finds that there's a vulnerability that exists, right? It then, because of this vulnerability, is now able to send commands through it, right? No, so now because of this vulnerability, it's using whatever vulnerability is baked in, and it's attempting to. We're seeing his side of the computer, right? It's now initializing breaching protocol, and it sends some packets to try to get past the password encryption. It then tries to get past the intrusion defense, and then it sends a packet over. How it does that is probably, once again, through SSH. I don't know. The way that you do it over SSH is actually very complicated because normally you'd use something called SCP. But if he's doing it over SSH, it probably means that it took literally tens of minutes to send this over, because you'd have to send over the command characters. You'd have to do something like, like SSH echo with the literal string of binary text describing the executable, and then piping that into another file. And then I don't know. It'd be very difficult to do, but whatever. This thing did it. It then analyzed on the remote side a scan of the memory on the computer. Now the thing to keep in mind is every computer system, including your phones, is actively needs to put things into memory in order to display things, in order to do computation, so that it's fast, right? You're not going to fetch something like a pixel off the hard drive, right? You're going to, if you open up your phone, it says 0056, right? That's in memory somewhere, right? So it's scanning the memory, and in doing so, it's put this exploit, this worm, this virus, whatever the fuck it is, not only into this computer system, but then it actively compiles it so that it works on that computer system. Now, keep in mind, if you're hacking into Linux, like Linux servers around the world, or even Windows servers around the world, but mostly Linux, every single computer has a different operating system, has a different, Linux package. You quite literally almost have to compile on that system. Otherwise, it's not going to work, right? And we won't get into the why, but he sends this shit over. He compiles a new binary with the virus specifically on that system, and manages to get the IP address, right? Now he's got the IP address. What does that mean? He can now directly SSH into the computer as if he was an admin. Prior to that, he was accessing it through an exploit. Now he's in as an admin. But upon running tree and treef, there's dog shit on here. There's quite literally nothing on here. So the fact that he did treef means that this is a dead system. If there was anything of value on this, that bin file would have contents. That logs file would have contents, but the only thing it has is a system.log. Its home file would have contents. Its mount would be mounted to like USB. So then he does CD logs, and in the log, it literally just says corporate office online. This is just him showing himself connecting to a Brazilian computer somewhere that has quite literally nothing on it. So this picture is him saying, yo, dog, I can hack into some very heavy shit, including this corporate system that is yet to be. Exactly. That's all this is.
It's a big flex.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I went with the longer expansive thing, but I figured I'd do so.
I
That was good.
totally understood that.
That was good.
You took me through that and I understood. Brilliant. Thanks for that.
Understood everything. Yes, no, this is perfect.
Yeah.
So there's nothing on 52 that he hacked into, correct? So.
Do you reckon if we had
he hacked onto it to gain access, but nothing was further affected on this because there is nothing to be affected.
Yeah, so he's essentially taunting us, is basically what he's saying, is I can
Correct.
do this here, look at this thing. Yes, I know, I understood completely.
But there is one other thing. Because he has access, and this might be what there's another thing I missed here. I didn't realize it till just now after you made that comment. Is okay, yes, there is nothing on here to be worried about. Yes, I agree with you, he is taunting, but I misspoke to say there's nothing on here that he could do. This could be one of many nodes that he's adding into a botnet. So given the fact that he has admin access to this node in Brazil, and inherently could do so to the other 8 and possibly to others, especially given the fact that this infers that this is some kind of corporate office somewhere, he could run his custom software on this, right?
Yeah, which is what they've been trying to do. That is the reason. Remember when I mentioned that they were going into G6 and doing bank stuff? Like that is what they've been trying to do, is essentially figure out what their bypass is because of the reset of the power. To get
We have a
past the
response,
physical
by the way.
firewall. What was the
Oh,
response?
shit.
You didn't like it.
Well, you can suck my dick.
Can he?
What do you say?
He says, cute. He says, cute. For when you want me, but don't need me. That would have read us. I think you don't understand, so enlighten me so we have this way.
He's quoting
Please ask
you, I
again
think.
while we treat you. They are.
Yeah, he's quoted some stuff that Sparks has sent
Oh
previously.
god, I love it when nerds quote my same shit. Oh, they're in my wheelhouse now. Come here, pussy. this is
Wait, was
so
this
good.
in regards to my question? Like, is this going to be an issue?
They didn't.
Oh,
It's
they
so
didn't
funny.
respond to it.
It's director.
Let me see.
He's in my courtroom now. And how I tread must be carefully.
For when you want me, but don't need me, that would have read us.
That is the first thing I said specifically when you
I
need
think
me
you
to my
don't
tone.
understand, so allow me to enlighten you. Since you are this way, please ask again why we treat you this way. No, but do you have a problem utilizing this phone for us?
I love that they
I'm
said
thick.
cute. Oh, that makes me so happy.
Okay. Let's go back to the previous conversation because this
Yep, 100%.
to me has no value, you know?
It doesn't.
So
All right, previous conversation.
where were we? You're saying something, Riker. Right. So they may be creating a botnet, right? They may be just showing that, look, we can do this. We've done it there. We can do it here.
The question is, what makes that server Brazilian? How do we know that IP address isn't here?
Oh,
Google
I
it.
ran a who has. Yeah, I did a who is on the IP address.
Okay, so we just same thing I did for the other ones. Okay.
But the thing is, we also know this is applicable here in San Andreas, right? Because
Right.
this, to me, because remember the, he was able to gather, our recruitment information, right? Which is hosted here in San Andreas. And so this answers the question as to how he hacked it, right? Within reason. That I
Right.
think he's saying, I use this methodology here to have hacked your SASM database. And given the fact we know he is progressing his work, and the work not being the puzzles, right? The puzzle stuff is one thing, right? It's not everything. right? So the puzzle stuff is, I think, related but separate, right? And what I mean by that is there is going to be an activity of him furthering his toolings, or I should say their toolings, to further hack into our systems. Given that they have only recently gone online, I would not expect that they would be able to break into every system in San Andreas.
No.
We know that they operate around the world. They're showing an example of them breaking into a Brazilian server. They've already shown us a live example of them breaking into our recruitment server, which has significantly less security. They've had the ability to break into San Andreas Power and Water, which once again is reasonable, but that required both a physical and a digital exploit effectively, right?
It would have, yes.
But this work that they are doing is likely they are furthering their development of their tools in lieu of the fact that we quite literally have we only have this like World of Warcraft guy that might be able to help us to put up a digital defense, right? So that's how I read all of this. But I also don't want to limit y'all's thinking on it, but I feel like what I'm saying is pretty reasonable. This is a warning. This is a taunt. This is him showing some of his hand.
That's how I view it when they were like, what was it, a couple days ago when they were like, oh yeah, SASM is 0 for 2 and LSPD is 2 for 2, because they know that there is animosity between the departments. That was them taunting us. It's noise. This picture, they could have just explained it, right? But instead they made it cryptic, posted it on the projector. It's just noise. All this is be careful where you start treading. Because we're willing to do this, are you? The whole point of Archivist V2 is that they were feeling used, and now they're like, this is where we're going. You can continue to tread, but understand it's now a landmine rather than a field.
I agree. Yeah.
All this is noise to saying, shut the fuck up, we can control you, don't think we can't.
I do believe that there is, despite what they say, like, how do I put this? I will say that it's the noise that is creating also creates obfuscation, even though I believe the archivists don't want to be obfuscating their message.
But they do inherently.
Yeah, because the moment they kind of like, when Riker, you came in, right? And you were like, oh my God, I got this information. And me and Sparks were kind of fucking with you a little bit.
Yeah, I remember.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
but,
I know, it was
but I
quite a
very
while ago,
clearly afterwards told you JK LOL, right? Because had I not done that and we just said, oh yeah, we actually, I didn't make that clear distinction. That right there was me fucking around. That would have caused you to continue wondering how much was, you know what I'm saying? Like it would have allowed to continue confused, because there is no clarity for what is noise and what isn't. And even though there is a perceived obvious answer, the reality is that not every answer and not every puzzle is inherently obvious, given the most recent situation where it was like you were being instructed one door, but JK LOL, I don't mean one door. I actually mean all 10 with 10 people, or whatever that the solution was, right?
Yeah,
so
I feel like we're also going to be doing a disservice to investigations in general if we don't process everything.
You are
100%.
correct.
Yes.
And they're saying like, oh, filter out the noise, like don't pay attention to the noise. Like,
That's
no,
the point.
like
yes,
we have to. Everything has
Thank
to
you.
be
That's where
Oh
everything
my
hides.
paid
fucking
attention
God.
to.
Thank you. I've been saying the same shit.
You are absolutely correct. In fact, I would say that methodology is the antithesis of their own message, because if you have noise to your message, but your goal is transparency, those things are counterintuitive, right? Because is not how we operate our noise to obfuscate. They're simply playing the same game in a different way. With that having been said, I do believe that there are other parties that have been involved. I mean, just for the tilder of our conversation with me and Angel, for example, he was trying to communicate there was a simple answer, but there wasn't. Oh, wait, actually, what happened, Riker, when you went to go solve the quote-unquote obvious puzzle? What happened?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Remember you were there, like you, me, and Angel, and I said you guys went off to try to see if you could find the...
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I didn't have the details on the puzzle, right? We didn't go there to try and solve the puzzle. We went there to see if anything was missed, which, surprise, there was nothing there.
Well, but that's what I... Wait, but that's exactly what I mean. Nothing was there, right?
Yeah, we didn't find anything.
Mm-hmm. I say we continue doing what we're doing. I think at times we might go too deep, but that's okay because we don't know the depth of the pool, right? And as long as we're sort of like rehoning back and looking at it, we should go deep, but always reset to what are we seeing at the simplest form. And
go deep, but then sometimes just come back out before we go deep again. Is what you're saying?
Dip a foot in and press as deep as you can, but as soon as you if you get into the muck, then you're too far.
Agreed. Yep.
That's definitely what I was stepping in. Yep.
It's really no different than the faceless stuff, right? There's so much disorientation with that the faceless uses, right? They use the art of confusion. They use the art of fear, the 10 steps ahead when they're sometimes actually 10 behind, right? Brandon was like a whistleblower, but JK, he wasn't, right? Like in many ways that too was noise, but the reality was that they were scared, right? Of their foothold being pressed. It's both things can be almost true, right? The noise sometimes matters as much as the obvious answer.
Correct. And the way the Archivist present it to us is you have to get rid of the noise. It's like, no, you want us to see what you want us to see. That's not how this works.
Okay.
You can sit there and try to tell us to filter out the noise, but then suddenly the noise that the things that we don't think are noise are noise, and things that we don't.
This is a lot of fun chat.
Tend to be noise.
This is my favorite part of investigations.
A way for them to control the narrative so that they view them. They are smarter than us.
I think telling us to try and filter out the noise is a bait to get us to not pay attention and miss more things in the future.
That's why we have a team. That's why I have a good team. I don't have anything else on this topic. I think we should talk about Hornets Nest while Kingsman is here, because I would like to do that this week.
Go for it.
Yep.
Okay. So just to touch on for everybody, Operation Hornets Nest is a very dangerous operation going into what is essentially the original. I'll go over here. Essentially the original home for the Archivist. That is Indiana University in Bloomington. That location in the last 10 years has received essentially what is a large amount of donations to make the library, to make the archives a better place. This is not information that I've necessarily deep dived into, but if you go to their website and you look at the archives, this is something that originally has not been massive, but something in the last 10 years, 15 years, essentially since the Archivist became active, that place, whether it's in memoriam or not, has increased in, I wouldn't say popularity, but they're good people. It's clean. It's obvious, whatever. I believe, based on the intel that we've received, that there's going to be stuff that's left behind, or that they will still utilize that as a base. Whether that's true or not, and this intel is false, it is not a lead that I wish to deprive ourselves from. So there's going to be a 2-day operation, primarily mostly for travel. I have to finalize and send an email back to our point of contact to Indiana State Marshals. They're coordinating what would be a quote unquote civilian run of the archives, because there are tours that go into the archive. So Kovacic, Kingsman, Riker, Sparks, we're going to be going in, providing our intel limitedly to Indiana State Marshals. They're going to be fighting local law enforcement. We'll be given different identifications. They're going to be providing us with our equipment that we need. Obviously, at that point, we're not going to be carrying any major equipment. It is still a state campus. We are allowed to carry firearms, but they're going to be subtle. They're going to be Glocks. Specifically, once we arrive, once we determine what days are going to be best for us, we are going to be essentially non-contactable for 2 days. Any information director that you would need to get to us will need to go to Indiana State Marshals, which will be directed to us. So let me pull up the specific goals here. We are going to have phones that have been registered over the last 2 or 3 months to these aliases that we're going to be using. That is specifically for communication. They have falsified text messages, call records, etc., that look like they have been live. We are friends, essentially. So this is report 40103. All the equipment is prepared. The initial cost has been approved, so everyone will be receiving their SASM badge that will be smuggled in, essentially. But all the other equipment that has been, the flights are ready and prepared for, but they haven't been purchased depending on the day. Our primary goal, we need to confirm if this is actually an established location. We're going to be keeping an eye out. I want to be able to go in, check donor lists, check names. I want all of that recorded. I want to see if this is a trap narrative or an actual real origin. Secondly, if this is confirmed, if we see Lucian Varthus, if we see Cassian Vane, any other names or anything that seems special, if there's a D&D group, or if there's like, oh my god, here's a picture of like a group of people, that needs to be noted, categorized. If we can't get a picture of that picture, then we get descriptions. So we are going to go in, once we validate that that is an actual location and not a trap narrative, we need to identify anchor artifacts. Does anyone have any questions on what an anchor artifact is concerning intelligence gathering?
Yeah, what is that?
An anchor artifact are things that are essentially personable to someone. For example, I carry my ex-partner's badge with me everywhere I go. She's passed away, she was murdered, but that is an anchor artifact to me, to the history of the work that we did. Those are going to be things like old character sheets. Those are going to be things like pictures that we find. Those are going to be things that validate, trust but verify, right? That's what the archivists always say. If we take that mantra to ourselves, we're verifying that that is a location that was used. We're looking for anchor artifacts. That also includes different file names. That also includes different indexes that might have names that have come across any of the data that we've received thus far, because they are human. These are not infallible androids that go through things. People are going to utilize the same passwords. People are going to utilize the same naming conventions. Seraph is not the first time here that I've used that username, but it's very rare that I do. Humans are fallible. The information that we find that we go in could repeat. So we're looking for file names. We also need to confirm if this is the actual active location, if it's, assuming that it's not a trap narrative. We need to confirm that this is an active location or a passive location. I'm not unconvinced that this is not being utilized. The fact that it has increased security, the fact that it has nicer facilities, the fact that they're having people now go through the archives in Indiana University Bloomington, I feel like that allowing people to come in, look at the archives and leave in and of itself is an obfuscation. Why would you not utilize this location in memoriam to a friend when that is the entire purpose of your existence? It's too coincidental. Any questions so far?
It's kind of screaming, isn't it? Like
It
reading.
is. Yeah, go ahead.
I was about to say, reading through this and through the law on there, it is screaming. There should be something there. So, looking at the timeline, what kind of year are we looking back? Around about what, 13 to 10 years on this, or more?
10 years for the archives to actually matter. for most people, as far as what Jimmy was telling us, assuming his intelligence is correct, this was like early 2000s.
Mm.
This is
So-
like 20 years ago, 20,
so-
25 years ago.
Where, again, where I'm looking at it from a plain view point of view, and they're going to use character sheets. So I can't help but think we're going to find, I can just see a lot of paper on this.
There's going to be a
Do you know
lot
what I
of yes. So that's where I'm getting at concerning the specific operations. So the 4 of us that are going to go in, obviously there's going to be 4 of us. However, we're presenting ourselves right now. IASM is suggesting coming in as college students because right now is the heavy recruitment time. There's a bunch of like transfers, people coming in for masters. Right now, this is a good time for high school students to come in and
Sure.
do exploration.
Yep.
So it's obviously we can't mask ourselves as high school students. I'm fucking 30.